Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Lau with Kenchan Crafts. Today we are unboxing my package from Apple Boom. This is my Platinum Chai Latte, shape of heart, and I bought this back on Valentine's Day. And I had asked for tuning and smoothing, so Apple Boom's nib smith person, she just got into the office last Wednesday and was able to tune and smooth my pen. You guys are going to experience my unboxing first impressions with me. So excited. Okay, so we got an Apple Boom card. It says, "Thank you for shopping at Apple Boom." And then it came with these two Stroop waffles, which are little cracker snacks. I've never tried this actually. I know I got one from my previous purchases from Apple Boom, but I'll have to try it later. Okay. Ooh. It's packaged in here. When you shop from Apple Boom, you get this really lovely gift wrapped. I like it. Here's the shape of heart. This is platinum. Here we go. Platinum box. Another Apple Boom sticker. The presentation is just so nice. Okay, oh my gosh. Going straight for the pen. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, there is a smudge mark there, but I think I can just get rid of that really quickly. So I believe they tested it and tuned it, so when they did that, they left a little bit of ink mark there, but thank goodness it did not stain. And like, it's been 4 days since it got here, so it should have stained, but it didn't, thank goodness. And wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my gosh. My first shape of heart. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the nib has definitely been tested. You can kind of see here, well, I don't know if you can, but I see little bits of blue ink. So they tested it, smoothed it, tuned it, so that it will write perfectly for me. Oh my gosh. I can hear it. The crystals are moving. They're actually not like glued inside. Wow. We'll have to find the heart-shaped cutouts and we will look at it in a bit together, but I can't find it right now. There's supposed to be 3, but I think there's only 2. Anyways. Ah, this is so cool. Oh my gosh. It's not as brown as I want it to be. It is a grayish tan, like very gray. It's like almost a taupe color. I don't see the brown that the pictures showed. That is very misrepresenting. So whoever did the marketing pictures should not be color correcting their pictures. It is very misleading. It is not the brown that I wanted, but it's nice. It's still very, very, very beautiful. Okay, it feels very light in my hand. I will say that. The cap is about the same, almost the same weight as the pen. And which makes sense because there's a lot of crystals going on up here. But this pen itself is super, super light. Now, I will say that my sailors' bodies feel much heavier than this. And this almost feels so hollow. But let me put the converter in, because the converter is what makes... the converter is part of the whole weight. So, yeah, this is very cheap. It feels very, very cheap. Yeah, this actually does feel lighter than my Laurel Green body. Platinum, you need to make even your matte bodies need to feel more substantial. I will just say that. Okay, even with the converter, well, the converter adds a nice little weight to it actually. Yeah, so I would not write the pen just like this because it's very light. I mean, most of the beauty is in the cap, honestly. Aside from the nib, so the nib is on the bodies, but when you cap it, it looks gorgeous, it looks beautiful. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Okay, So it feels comfy in my hands. So I definitely like it. All right, so that is my initial reaction to unboxing this pen. Now let's switch the camera over and take a look at how this pen writes. Okay, so now we are on the top view. So this pen, the Platinum Shape of Heart Chai Latte, does come in this box. It comes with a plastic cartridge as well as a cartridge converter, which is proprietary to Platinum, so you can't use any other cartridges with the Platinum pens. And then it came with this mixable ink, which is just a Platinum ink that will go in any of your pens. You don't have to mix this ink with anything else. I did measure the weight of this pen. The body with the converter is about 14 grams. That's about 2 grams less than my Sailor Pro gears. It's only 2 grams, but it makes a big difference. And then the cap is 10 grams. So altogether, if you post it, it is a total of 24 grams. So it's a pretty good weight when you put it all together. However, because the body is 14 grams, most of the weight is right here by the converter and the nib. And so it's super light in the backs. It's not as balanced as it could be. And from just feeling this pen a little bit, I can say that this part itself, the barrel here, feels very, very light, very cheap plastic. That doesn't mean that it is cheap plastic, because I don't know the specific plastic that Platinum uses. However, it does feel super light. And I do think that that lightness is due to the material being matte. The Laurel Green that I had, and I don't have it anymore, I sold that pen since, the body also felt light, but because it was lacquered, it had a little bit of different kind of weight to it. So this whole body itself is a matte texture, and the grip here, however, is lacquered. And it's lacquered because you're going to probably dip this into an ink bottle, and they want you to be able to clean this part really easily. Now, my pen did, as you saw earlier, that this part here it had ink on it from the testing that Apple Boom did, but I was able to just wipe it off easily. So not quite sure why they decided to go with this part only being lacquered if the whole pen itself can be easily polished from ink. Now let's just take a closer look at the body. You can see these gorgeous crystals. They do shimmer and shine in natural light very, very beautifully, as you can see there. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, absolutely beautiful, is it not? Okay. I know for sure these are not real diamonds, but you can definitely be fooled. They do look real. I'm sure they are crystals. And you can hear this. So when you're writing, you will hear the crystals move. If you don't like that, then do not buy this pen. The Shape of Heart. Just stick with the regular Platinum Centuries. They're really, 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 really good nibs. Great writing. But this pen is exquisite. Like, aesthetically, it looks exquisite. So the cap does feel like luxury. It feels heavy. Like for 10 grams, it's quite nice. Let's just take a look at that rose gold trimming there. That is so beautiful. Now I will show you it next to, that was not a good example. Let me show you next to a Pelican pen. They have different gold color. Okay. You can see that it's slightly lighter of a gold. Yeah, the Pelican is very yellow. And then the rose gold has a little bit of brown tint to it. It's definitely not as yellow for sure. So the band here says Platinum, made in Japan. And that's 3776 Century. It is so beautiful, absolutely beautiful band. And then I have not been, oh, okay. Looks like I found my first heart there, you guys. That's the heart. One of the heart's pieces. Let's see if we can find the other one. There are supposed to be 2 heart pieces, but I'm okay with just finding that one for now. They'll probably move as I'm moving my pen. And then the pen has an ivory body. Again, it is matte. The cap here is a taupe tan. Putting it next to this, my brown, you can see how different it is. It's definitely very light. And then the nib here is that gorgeous 14 karat platinum nib. It is stunning. I do think platinum nibs are just very, very beautiful. There's a 14K medium, 585, 3776. That's for the height of Mount Fuji. And then you can see the nib here has engravings to show like the outline of the mountain. And then the platinum pens, they have a slip and seal where when you close it, it ensures that the nibs are completely sealed off, that it will last you up to 2 years. I noticed that all you have to do is just twist the cap and the pen until you hear the tiniest bit of click and friction. Once you feel that, you don't have to tighten it anymore. So, yep, like it stopped right there. And you have to be gentle when you're closing it. So I can keep on tightening it, but I don't think that's safe. So you don't want your pens to crack. That's the main cause of cracking, is to over tighten. So just be very gentle with it. And when I open it, it should come out easily. Now the proprietary cartridge converter is platinum. And I think platinum's converter are probably the better of the 3 Japanese converters. There's Pilot converters. There are, I think Sailor converters are probably the worst. And then Pilot has multiple converters. Some of them are really good, some are just not great. Platinum only has 1 converter from what I know, and I have almost no issues with every single platinum converter I've used. So yes, indeed this pen does feel light. I'm going to talk about the price right now. It is $430 in the US and probably $430 in other places too. In the EU or in Europe, European stores, you can probably get this for about $380, between $330 and $380, depends on the sales that they have. But $430 will be the highest you'll have to pay for this, and it's from America. If you buy this directly from Japan, whether it's through a reseller or a store, and you go through White Rabbit shipping, which is a way to get pens delivered to you from Japan, but at the a fee. It is $300 to $360. So it's the cheapest would be from Japan, next cheapest is from Europe, and then if you buy from America, it's $430. And I don't think platinum pens can be used with my code at Atlas. I'll double check that, but if you have not gotten one yet and you want one in the future, do not worry. I think this pen will still be in production for a while. It is limited to 2,000 pieces worldwide. It is luxurious though, it is gorgeous, but it is matte, and so because of that, it's got a different kind of feeling and texture. This kind of matte is not like my Vanishing Point, the matte forest green pen. If you've watched Journal with Tiff, you'll see that she also compared this matte feeling to her Pilot Vanishing Point. So this matte feeling is much more soothing. The matte on this plastic just feels like plastic. It feels like matte plastic. Now, you can't really compare these two matte finishes because this is a metal body. So the matte on this Vanishing Point has to feel a little different. But when you think of matte pens, this is not the type of matte you think of, but it's just not lacquered. It's a plastic body that's not lacquered. The Vanishing Point is a metal body where they had to cover the metal body with a different type of matte texture. So this is definitely not a plastic. So you can't really compare these two, but if you want this kind of matte feel, which is what I expect of matte pens, you won't get it from the Platinum Shape of Heart. Okay. Well, enough of the specs of this pen. Let's just take one more look at this beautiful pen. Now, as I'm speaking, I am talking very objectively about this pen. Subjectively, I love it. I love everything about how it looks, how it presents itself, the crystal diamonds up here. It's beautiful. And ever since I sold my Laurel Green, I miss writing with a Century 3776 pen, and so I'm excited about this one. All right, let's do a writing sample, and then I will compare it with some other medium nibs. I did get mine in a medium nib. Well, actually, let's do a quick comparison of these pens. So I have a few pens here that I decided to bring out to compare with, and you can see that the Platinum Century 3776 is about the same height as these other pens that I think most of you guys would have. The TWSBI Lamy All-Star, the Lamy 2000 is slightly shorter. The Pelikan M600 is also slightly shorter. The Pilot Custom H23 is, of course, the longest. And then if we bring these unposted, you can see that it actually is the shortest pen. So it is about the same length as the Lamy 2000, but it is on the shorter side. And then once everything is posted, it sits at about the same length as the Pelikan M600 posted and slightly longer than the M2000 posted. So I think that that's pretty, good and average. Again, a posted pen that is great, I think, is the Pilot Custom A23 because the grip section, the length, and the weight of the pen is really good and really nice. I do like the length of the Lamy 2000 posted as well, so that makes these two very, very similar, and so it's a great pen posted as well. And again, like I said, this pen weighs 14 grams on the body and 10 grams on the cap with a grip section of about 10.1 millimeters. The Pilot Custom A23 is 10.5, so it's about the same comfort level as the Pilot Custom A23's grip section. The rest of these grip sections are a lot thinner. The rest of these pens are thinner. So I would say that the Custom A23 and the Platinum Century 3776 are two of the pens that have the best grip sections. All right, so let's do a quick writing sample of this beautiful Platinum Century 3776. All right, so I do write at a little bit of an angle. Now, this ink color is absolutely beautiful. It is so, so nice. I will do a little swatch here as well. It's an amazing ink color that leans a bit on the warm side. It's got a lot of red in it and orange undertones. So I'll do this. Yeah, definitely orange undertone for sure. Okay. I like this ink so much. I'm actually going to fill the converter with it. See, that was just one pull and I got a full amount of ink. You cannot say that about Sailor converters. And sometimes, especially Pilot Con 40s, you cannot fill your pens this way that easily with Pilot converters. Oh, I got ink all over my hand, and look at that. I got ink all over the body of my pen. Easy fix. So the body is matte, but you can just easily wipe that off. So yeah, that's another issue with matte pens, especially this one. This is my very first matte platinum pen, but you can see that because it's an ivory body, it's white, so it's going to catch onto color. Whatever color you have on your fingers will show up on the body, but you can just easily wipe it with a damp paper towel. Okay, so this is New Pen Day. April 23, 2024. All right, this pen is the Platinum Shape of Heart Chai Latte. Can you hear that feedback? It's beautiful. Platinum, Sailors, and Pilot all have their own feedback. Platinum is the second loudest feedback, with Sailor being the loudest. And oh my god, I absolutely love this feedback. I miss Platinum nibs so much. Okay, the ink is Platinum, brown, mixable ink. So I do strokes from every angle as well as figure eights to hear if there's any misaligned tines, any scratchiness, but I did have this tuned and smoothed already, so that is evident of it having been worked on, and it works perfectly fine. I love this writing so much. Wow. I like this better than my Pilot Vanishing Point. I just love this feeling so much better. Yeah, it writes amazing, you guys. And you can see the shading here. I'm not sure if you can actually see the shading as well as my naked eye can see, but the figure eights there are a lot lighter of a brown than like the word brown. So the shading here is super, super beautiful. Let me show you a sample of the shading I see in my old Tomoe River paper. Is that just not the most exquisite shading you've ever seen? So this is when it's dry, and this is when it's, it pools from a very wet amount of writing. And then here you can see Shape of Heart. The bottom strokes of the S and H are darker than the top strokes where it's lighter. That is just amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Now let's compare the lines of this platinum medium with other medium nibs so that you can kind of get a feel for if you want a platinum medium or other tips. I will also write with my platinum fine just so you can see the world of a difference of platinum fine versus a medium. Now the ink does play a big role in it, as well as if your pen has been tuned a bit drier versus being average or wet, because pen nibs can be like tuned. Sometimes they're not 100% consistent in how they're tuned. I know that's my platinum fine is super, super thin, super fine. So let's zoom in here. This is platinum. Fine. It's very, very fine. I'm going to use 2 lines per writing, or 2 squares. Most people write in just 1 square, but I write with 2 squares. Okay, this is platinum, medium, so the line doesn't really show off the difference in the 2 nib sizes as much as the writing does, but you can see here in the writing, this platinum medium writes like a Western fine. This platinum fine writes like a Western extra, extra fine. I do think that my platinum fine is writing on the dry side. It's got a Tachia ink in it, which isn't a dry ink by any means, but it's still writing very thinly. This platinum ink definitely has good flow. I wouldn't say it's wet. Let's just do a quick wetness. Yeah, it's fairly wet in terms of the overall flow. So you can see here, this pen does pick up a lot of ink marks if you get inky fingers. That's one thing that might be a pet peeve for some of you, because part of the fountain pen journey is having inky fingers, and you're going to get ink all over this pen. Just easy cleanup, but it can get irritating sometimes for some people. Just set that there. We're going to compare it with the TWSBI's Eco Yovo Medium. This is a Western medium. And this is inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Takesumi, which is a black ink. It's a very wet lubricated ink, so you can see that the lines are very broad. So I would say that TWSBI's Eco Medium is slightly thicker than the Platinum Medium. So this Platinum Medium does write quite a bit, just slightly smaller than a Western medium. Here is the Lamy, which is a German nib. This Lamy All-Star is also a medium. And I have it inked up with Wearingeul Hades. It's actually a really wet ink from what I've been experiencing. I do get a little bit of scratchiness because of the shimmers. But otherwise, the Lamy All-Star Medium is about the same nib size as the TWSBI Eco Medium. Here is the Kaweco Medium, which is a Bach nib. This is the Iguana Blue, so Kaweco Medium. And the ink I have in here is Ferris Wheel Press Mirror Mirror of Moraine. So this medium nib definitely does write about the same nib size as the Lamy All-Star Medium, and slightly thicker than the Platinum Medium. Here is my Lamy 2000, and this is a fine nib. So the Lamy 2000, you can see, is just a hairline thinner than the Lamy All-Star Medium. They're about the same. And here is my Pelikan Fine. Now the Pelikan Fine writes like a juicier Western medium. And the ink in here is Pelikan Appetite, which is a dry ink. So you can see that your Pelikan Fines are going to write like a thicker Western medium. And it's definitely about a size or two thicker than Platinum Medium. And here is the Pilot Custom 823 Medium. My Pilot Custom 823 is the thickest in terms of line width among all of these. It does have the Pilot Iroshizuku Takesumi ink, which is the same as in my Lamy 2000 and my TWSBI Eco. So you can see that with a wet ink, Pilot Custom 823 Medium does write a bit on the broad side, and it's definitely about the same line width as a Pelikan Fine, and it's about 2 sizes thicker than a Platinum Medium. So, or like a size or 2 thicker than the Platinum Medium. So if you want to compare a Platinum Medium versus Pilot Custom 823 Medium, you can see here that they are definitely about 1 size apart from each other, with the Pilot Custom 823 being a thicker line. All right, so if you like your fine lines, go with Platinum Fine. If you like a bit thicker, go with Platinum Medium. There is, if you want something in between these two, you might just want to get your Platinum Fines to be tuned a bit wetter. So you can definitely ask your retailers to see if they can tune, or if they have a nibmeister who can tune them at their store to write slightly wetter. I know that Apple Boom does have their own nib tuner, as well as Emmy from Pen Wrench. I'm not sure if he is selling this specific pen, but if you buy any pens from Emmy, he does tune your pens to the way that you want them to write. So he's a great resource for making sure that if you don't like this kind of a fine platinum fine, then you can get it tuned to be wetter. If you don't like this wet of a platinum medium, you can get it tuned a little bit drier. But to me, I love this. This is perfect. I do like my mediums and fines, but I don't like this. This to me feels more like an extra fine, like a Japanese extra fine. Let's just quickly go over some pros and cons of this pen, shall we? It's an excellent 14 karat gold nib. Platinum has one of the best gold nibs, starter gold nibs. Now, you don't have to get this pen. Any Platinum Century 3776 14 karat gold nib is going to write smooth like this. And it has great feedback, lovely feedback. The pen is light. It's aesthetically beautiful. It is everything that I expected. I mean, I expected this part to be more brown. I still wish it would be more brown, but it looks perfect in person. The converter is nice. I'll say that the matte body cleans easily, but you want to clean it right away. I would not risk leaving ink marks on the pen body any longer than a minute. Okay, so I think that covers mostly everything objective as best as I can. I mean, it's got a great flow. So this nib and feed, I think it writes on the average side. Sometimes it can write pretty wet, especially the mediums. Okay, cons of this pen. Now here we get more interesting. So the cost is, the price is $430, I think, USD. And that's in America. In capital, not worth the price. I'm sorry, Platinum. This pen is not $430 worth of money. I bought this pen for $318 from Apple Boom. I had a discount code, so I was happy with that price. This pen at $318 is almost worth it. The quality, I think, of this whole pen itself is about $250 to $280 in my value. It's a platinum pen. They're not going to break on you. The nibs should write mostly really well, and you can also like get it tuned at the retailer. So I don't think a warranty is necessary for these pens. So a $430 includes the warranty, and I don't think it's worth it. But at $318, I am happy with this. The matte body stains, or it doesn't stain, but picks up ink marks very easily. So as you saw earlier, like my inky fingers just smudged this pen body everywhere, and I just had to clean it every time. So have a clean hand, and you won't have that issue. Oh, positive, the slip and seal. None of my platinum pens have ever had inks that changed in color. So this slip and seal is actually very, very good. I mean, most pens will last you a month to 2 months with their sealing mechanism anyways, the good ones. And so this one, I wouldn't say that it's like an amazing thing. It's great, but a lot of other pens can last you a good amount of time as well. Yeah, I will say that if you expected this pen to be more brown, the cap to be more brown, you will not be satisfied with this pen. Cap is a gray tan, more like a taupe color, not a brown tan. or light brown tan. I was expecting a light brown tan. Some of the pictures in the stock photos showed a beautiful, like, light brown tan, like the color of chai latte, right? It's like this nice, soft, warm brown, but this is not anywhere near a warm brown. It is a gray, almost like, yeah, it's a gray tan, is what I'll say. And the stock photos are misleading because they did show this color and a brown. So it was like, why are you going to show us a pictures of this photo where it looks different? Which is it? So I was very upset that it was the lighter tan, but I'm not unhappy with that. Slightly misleading. Okay, well, that is all I will do for now in terms of pros and cons. You can see that there are quite a bit of cons to this pen from my initial review. However, it is my very first shape of heart. And it is chai latte. I love tea so much. And anything with milk in it, milk tea, so good. And so this pen represents that part of me, and I just love how elegant it looks. And the fact that it is light does add to its elegance a bit. And for that, I really, really like this pen and I enjoy it. I think the best part of it is the writing. The writing experience is phenomenal. 14 karat, it is stiff. I forgot to say that. This pen does not have a lot of line variations. And it is barely bouncy. So Platinum Century 3776, it has a very stiff 14 karat gold nib, and I like stiff nibs. And sometimes stiff steel nibs are what I prefer. So this gold nib is perfect for me. If you like a softer gold nib, this is not going to be the pen for you. Okay, well, I am absolutely adore this pen. I absolutely love it. I mean, in the end, despite the cons, it is a pen that I really, really love. I like looking at it, and I love the way it writes. Those two are what makes me love a pen. Now, the fact that it's light does not deter it for me because the grip section is actually very comfortable. This pen is comfortable for me. Just because the pen is light doesn't mean I hate it. It has to be comfortable if it's light. For example, the Pilot E95S, that pen is light and the grip section is terrible. So I don't like that. This one, perfect grip section, very comfortable, beautiful nib experience, beautiful look of the pen. I love it. Oh my God, just look at that. Look at how the rose gold pops up. Oh, beautiful. Anyways, that is all for this video. I hope that you guys have learned a bit about the Platinum Shape of Heart. If this helps you to stay away from this pen or makes you decide to buy this pen, leave a like down below, comment if you decide to buy it or if you chose not to and the reasons why. I would love to have a talk about this because it's one of my favorite pens now. It is just so beautiful. And yeah, all right. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye.